So hello again. This time I'll be showing you the if function as part of the top 10 most popular functions according to Microsoft's own judgment. So let's have a look at what Microsoft has to say about the if function. The if function is one of the most popular functions. It allows you to make logical comparisons between a value and what you expect. So an if function can have two results. One is the case when your comparison is true, and the second if your comparison is false. So for example, if you say something equals yes, 1 or 2, that's just to say if that statement is true, then return a 1. If your statement evaluates to false, then return a number 2. And the syntax is that you have a statement, and then after the comma you say what should happen if the statement evaluates to true, and then another comma, and what should happen if your statement evaluates to false. If you look at this one, this is column C, and we'll assume that this is C2. So if C2 equals yes, then show 1. So C2 says yes, so it evaluates to true, and it shows you the first half of the rest of the statement. So making it slightly more complicated, you could look at things like you have a budget and you have actual spendings, and you want to see if something is under the budget or within the budget or over the budget. And if you look at what Microsoft has here, you can see your statement would be C2 is bigger than B2. And if that statement is true, you would say over budget. If the statement is false, then it's within budget. And again, that's your statement that gets evaluated. That's your true, and that's your false action. Okay, why don't we try to do some of this stuff, and let's have a look at widgets and Dutch keys and sales taxes and whatnot slightly differently. So if we look at what I have here, we're saying if B2 is less than 10, then say less than 10. Otherwise say greater or equal to 10. Now you might wonder, oh, there's nothing in here. Why does it say less than 10? And keep in mind that in Excel's own world, nothing evaluates to 0. So technically, that's what it says here. It's just you can't see it. However, if I now change this to a value that is not less than 10, such as 15, it will come to greater than or equal to 10. Because if you look at it, this is your logical test. We're looking at whether or not B2 is lower than 10, and then what should happen if it evaluates to true, and what should happen if it evaluates to false. So I hope that makes sense. Now, I added in a bit of a difference from what's been in here. You will notice that it's the same lineup, kind of. And what we're saying is we have a subtotal for all the apples and oranges, and we want to see if we want to add the sales tax. So let's say if that says yes, then we should add in a sales tax of, in my case, 17%. So that will be that times that. If we don't want the sales tax, then just 0. And of course, you'll notice that 29.78 times 17% is 506. Now, if you want to experiment, that's what you're doing. And if you want to add shipping, and you could hard code that, you could say if that equals yes, then your shipping cost is, I don't know, $0.5, else nothing. And you'll notice that here you have all of these summed up nicely. So that's how the basic if works. So what issues can you have? Well, you get a 0 result, and this could be an outcome of you having no argument for either true or false, possibly both. So you really have to make sure that you're returning something for both true and false, even just a double quote. So that's one thing. The other is that if you get a name error, that tends to mean that you mistyped your formula. You could have IFF or some such. So just make sure that you're really typing in if. So that was the function. I hope you found it useful. Any questions, shout and leave a comment. Thank you.